everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our Living Plus cooking demonstration. I'm Jennifer, and I am the health coach and registered dietitian for HealthTeam Advantage. I have with me Chef Rocky, who will be showing you how to cook an awesome shrimp and broccoli recipe that's easy, simple, and very limited ingredients. Hi Rocky, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. I'm excited to show you guys this dish. A lot of people are getting intimidated by like Asian flavors and stuff like that. And literally the only thing that you need to add is a little bit of soy and a little bit of, I don't know what they call it, sweet Thai style. This is sweet Thai sauce. So we're gonna get started, and basically it's just a bunch of cutting, and then literally these are, people get intimidated by these, and this is how easy it is. This is how easy I do it. So don't go all the way through. You just go like this on the outside, on both sides, just on the outside. You don't want to cut the core, right? Then you put your fingers on top like this. Boom. And then you put your fingers on top like this, and you just pull back like this. No seeds, no nothing. All you need to do is cut this out a little bit, and that's it. No seeds, no nothing. So again, top, boom, just go all the way down. Follow that line all the way down on the other side. Hands on the ribs right there. Boom. So once in a while, that's a little bit right there, that's it. And then, boom. A couple seeds, tear the veins out, and wait for it. Done. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up because just to get some extra room on this cutting board. A busy cutting board is a dangerous cutting board. So you really want to keep as less things on your cutting board as possible, just to keep safe.
And then I also notice when you're cutting with a really sharp knife, you can easily go through, but you're also rounding your knuckles.
The claw.
So that so you don't cut off the tips of your fingers,
yes,
right?
Like that, and then you use your nails. I always cut my nails because I'm a chef, but you use your nails as stabilizer, and then you never go above here. This is really high. Like people are worried about, but this is really high up there. So you just glide the knife, nice and easy. And again, a sharp knife is a safe knife.
And you see we've got some beautiful green, I always say lots of fruits and vegetables for your nutrients, your anti-inflammatory properties. And you can see here we've got some red, green peppers. Variety of colors is your friend in terms of your diet, in terms of your fruits and your vegetables.
Yes, and honestly, I was stunned. At Harris Teeter, these red peppers were like 3 for $5. So honestly, you don't have to use red bell peppers. It's not like it's a different flavor or anything. But if you notice, this would be a lot of green, right? A lot of monotone. So you can use other peppers. Unfortunately, the orange peppers were the same amount of money. So I'm just gonna break these down to smaller, bite-sized, manageable pieces. Some of them were kind of big, but I'm gonna take them down to about that big, just so they're about bite-sized. Try to get everything universally, because we say, you know, everything cuts the same, everything cooks the same. So, and then usually you want to always taste it, because honestly, some green peppers have a little flavor to them, and then you feel a little spice at the end. And depending on what you're cooking, a lot of people look for sweetness in their bell peppers. So you don't want heat with this dish. You can add it, but Chinese food usually doesn't have too much hot spices. Mandarin and Cantonese, and even some Japanese do, but not often. Okay, so these are all about the same size. I'm just going to throw them in with the peppers, because peppers do cook around the same time as these.
And the broccoli is a great cruciferous vegetable. It adds a lot of anti-inflammatory properties, great for your heart, very low calorie. Also, excellent source of vitamin C, potassium.
Yeah, and a lot of people like just eat greens and stuff like that, but I was always taught the more colors you eat, the more vitamins you get. So it's not just a visual thing when you're working with different colors like this. It's not just for visual. It's actually a more roundabout way of getting your total vitamins and minerals in.
It's something that actually, if you're really trying to work on that with your colors, kind of keeping a journal or kind of doing, like they've had, you know, different challenges that people do, an arm challenge or a workout challenge or something, but you could also do that in the form of how many colors can you get in the course of a day. It takes work for some people. They're used to eating just carrots or green beans or peas.
Yeah, it took me a long time actually. It's kind of hard to incorporate into your dish sometimes, so I actually just literally keep a bowl of veggies, of different kind of veggies in some water, and just during the day just snack on them. So basically that's all the prep right there, literally. I like to take my lemons and do a little work like this to get all the seeds out first, so you don't have to worry about it when you're cooking. There you go, most of the seeds right there.
And I know a lot of times with cooking, chefs will talk about acid when you're cooking and the importance of acid. Does it help enhance the coloring, the flavoring, both?
It brightens up all the flavors and it adds a little flavor to it as well. Obviously, it depends on what you use. We're using lemon, so it will obviously leave a little acid aftertaste, a little lemony back here. Some leave sweet, like apple cider vinegar, and then some use like French salad dressing. You use white distilled vinegar.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm not going to use white distilled vinegar. Use that to clean like tables and grill tops and stuff.
Yeah.
But sure enough, I tried a couple different ones and nothing tastes the same. So we're done with this. Literally all we're going to be using is obviously a little salt and pepper. Just a couple splashes of this. So I got the smallest bottle. A lot of people don't look for the small bottles. They just get a big bottle and then they end up using this much of it and then throwing away this much of it. But it's always a good thing to get a small bottle. This stuff is actually very versatile. You can use this for a lot of different things. Like, actually, I like to use it for like kale chips, and I don't know, some vegetables are really good in it, but this is more like Thai food. And then we're going to use extra virgin olive oil because we're not going to take the heat up too high, so it won't have a smoking point. So that's about it.
And with something like soy sauce, you can buy a low sodium version if you're watching your sodium intake, which is always a great idea.
All right, here we are. I'm just gonna literally just throw this in here. I do have some water right here, just in case. What happens is you're gonna need a little steam. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Thank you. But yeah, get a little steam going. Throw a little seasoning in there. Throw a little bit of oil. I don't even like to use too much oil, but literally, this is just so it doesn't stick. There's no kind of flavor. There's no, this isn't going to add any texture, nothing. It's just going to be like an extra thing.
And I appreciate using the water to start with, because most of us tend to, or at least for myself, I will put the oil in the pan first.
Yes.
And heat up the oil, then throw my veggies in, and now I've got oil splattering everywhere, and it's not my friend.
Yeah, that's the first thing that everybody does, is just to throw oil in. And a lot of times, it's not necessary. And a lot of people banter back and forth about it, but literally a lot of people just use oil so it doesn't stick. Now, if you can hear the nothing's going to stick to it because there's a thin layer of water and bubbles, right, boiling underneath it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of people use oil, and then the oil doesn't like dissipate, right? It just stays on the bottom and it coats the stuff maybe a little bit, but there's no like steam. You can kind of see the steam coming from it, so you're kind of essentially steaming the vegetables, right?
Yeah.
Instead of frying them like with a whole bunch of oil.
Which is what we're looking for, a healthier way to add some flavor, but to cook our foods where we're not adding a ton of extra calories that we don't necessarily need.
Right, and then that's where all the oil comes in, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people actually complain about Chinese food saying that it actually tastes very oily. That's why.
Like you said, it's sitting in the oil on the bottom of the pan.
Yes, and I've said this before, but never add the garlic in the beginning because garlic is one of the things that burns the fastest. Butter, because the milk, sweetness is the milk in it, garlic and sugar are the three things you really have to be careful about because of the burning.
And you can vary the vegetables in this. I mean, I highly recommend trying it this way first to get in some of these awesome nutrients that these vegetables provide you, but you can vary the options that you use within it. Instead of something like broccoli, you could use cauliflower if you want.
Yeah, and red onions, shallots, you could use, you've seen snow peas and stuff like that. Snow peas are a little bit too sweet for me, but, lost another one.
Especially as we're going into the summertime and we've got our gardens that are gonna start blossoming with various things. You could use some summer squash. Obviously, you gotta be careful with the cooking time of different things, like you said, so that you don't overcook some and,
Yeah, that's really the hardest part. And I actually have this spare pan over here just in case. So let's say you take your vegetables a little bit too far, take them out, put them in here, right? Set them aside, and then just wipe out the wok and start your shrimp. I'd say shrimp take about like 5 minutes, so it's really easy to like mistime things. And a lot of people think, oh, if I'm making a one-pot dish, I have to use one pot. You don't. Just put it in here, right? Put it in here to rest for a little while. Try to do as less things that'll make you stressed, right?
yeah.
The main thing about being a chef is timing. A lot of people don't know that, but it's timing, right? You can feel it. Still mostly a little hard, but in about 2 minutes, I'll add the shrimp, and then everything will be cooked the same. Depending on what season, and a lot of people don't understand this either, how old the vegetables are. You can have a big thing of broccoli in your fridge for 2 weeks, right? It might look the same, it might smell a little bit, but it won't look exactly the same. It won't cook the same. There's a lot less liquid in it, and a lot of people think, well, there's a lot less liquid, it'll suck up the liquid in here. Not necessarily. A lot of times the stems will actually stay hard. So that's why a lot of kitchens throw away stuff, and you're like, why are you throwing that away? Because it's older than 5 to 7 days. Still looks the same, I'll eat it at my house, but I don't want to serve, this one's going to be great because it's fresh, this one's going to be super hard because it's 2 weeks old. You don't want to do that, right? You don't want to overcook it because there's nothing worse than mushy broccoli. Disgusting.
I'm definitely one of those people that would be afraid I would not cook it appropriately, so I would be one of those people that would separate the cooking into 2 different pans, just to be safe, to make sure I have everything cooked properly and appropriately.
Right, and if you notice I have a garbage bowl right here, I don't even have to go to the garbage. Usually I have a garbage right here, but I'm not at home or in my kitchen. So a lot of people don't know this one either. A perfectly cooked shrimp is an O, a C, or O or a C. An overcooked is when it's a nice little tight O and it goes really tight like that. That's overcooked.
And you can play with, depending upon how many people you're cooking for, you can play with the quantity of the ingredients. Obviously, you know what we started with and how much we have in that pot right now. If you're just one person, you can make a couple servings of it for yourself so that you have 2 days worth, so that you're not wasting things.
Yeah, I would say 1 pepper, 1 head of broccoli, probably a pound, I guess, of shrimp, and then that's probably pretty good for at least 3 people, I would say.
And shrimp is a nice protein to use. It's low in fat, low in saturated fat, it's high in protein, and it's not a heavy protein either in terms of, the flavor or filling you up too much. It's nice and light, and it cooks quickly. So for individuals that are looking for a meal that doesn't take a lot of time, this is a great option.
These shrimp are mostly cooked. And like I said, some of these are looking pretty good. There's a loose O right there. Some are a little bit raw still, so still kind of getting about 5 minutes to this. But I can smell that it needs some spices. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and add some salt. Garlic at the end, right? I'm going to put it over here on the edges where the water is, so it'll mix it a little better. A little more of that. Soy. And then for the lemons, I already took out most of the seeds, but you always do this little bit of a pocket just for a little acid. And these have a lot of seeds underneath, so that's good. I'm catching them all.
Yeah, nobody wants a sneaky seed in their.
That is a lot of seeds.
Oh wow. Nobody wants a sneaky seed in their finished dish to bite into.
Yeah, that's not pleasant.
Yeah.
Okay, now we got a good boil going. So this is almost ready any second now. I'm gonna go ahead and temp one of these. Should be 135, 144. So we're just about right. There's a couple pieces in here still need a little love, and this, that's good. This garlic needs to be mixed in a little bit, but we're basically done. And at the very end, very end, I'm gonna add the microwave because, like I said, high chance of burning that. So you can see we still have some color in the broccoli. We still have some good color in the peppers.
Mm-hmm. Keep those nutrients in there.
Yeah, you don't want everything slipping away into the liquid.
And something like the sauce, they can play with that too, based on their own flavor preference in terms of, you know, maybe putting a little bit more on their plate at the end if they have different, you know, levels of people who are particular about the sweet or the spicy that they're trying to appreciate, right?
Yes. And you could just not even put this, and technically you could put it at the end. Mm-hmm. It's a little better when it's cooked through, but I wouldn't say there's much of a difference between the raw taste and the cooked taste. Boom. Now we got Chinese food with tiny ingredients. What? Oh, you can just smell that. Ooh.
Oh, yep. Now I'm getting it. And the different profiles it's sending off is awesome.
Yes, and I always do one of these. So if I was you, I would take a tasting spoon, put it in there, pull it to the side, and taste it. This is definitely needing just a little bit of kick. And it's savory burp done. Now you can add other things to this. Like I said, you could add a little sriracha to heat it up. You could add even like maybe a little bit of teriyaki too. That's just a little sweetness, but some people like, you know, sweet shrimp. My wife loves coconut shrimp, so and then you could see these shrimp, little O's, perfect. Not quite making the over-O'd C or the overcooked O, and we're done. So yeah, there you go. I mean, I definitely made too much, but this is 2 pounds of shrimp, so it's double the recipe. I had 2 peppers and 2 heads of broccoli, but this would easily feed 6 people. I think that any family would be happy to eat this for dinner.
This is a great way to get your vegetables in, get your protein in, nice light meal that you feel really happy and not over full and sluggish after you eat. Thank you so much, Rocky. We appreciate you showing us your expertise, your skills, and cooking us a wonderful shrimp and broccoli dish.